now on the CTV News at 5. After 2 months, striking Town of Coaldale employees are headed back to work as a deal is reached. Plus, the case of a 12-year-old boy charged with the attempted murder of his younger brother is back in court. And the YWCA Stockings of Hope campaign kicks off.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. After more than 2 months locked out, workers with the Town of Coaldale will be back on the job Monday. More than 40 town workers represented by the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees have reached a deal and have a new 4-year collective bargaining agreement. The workers have been locked out since September the 6th. They voted on a tentative agreement Monday. The new deal provides a 12% general wage increase over the next 4 years, with the town continuing to cover 75% of employee benefit premiums. Overtime and call-out rates were standardized at 1.5 times one's regular rate of pay, while sick time and vacation remains unchanged. The agreement will be in place from next January to December of 2028. We reached out to both the town and AUPE for comment, but have not yet received a response. Now, the province is continuing to face labor unrest. Today, bargaining resumed for 22,000 healthcare professionals. The Health Sciences Association of Alberta is in formal mediation with Alberta Health Services. Talks begin today and are expected to last until Friday. The HSAA represents a number of healthcare professions, including paramedics, pharmacists, and diagnostic imaging technologists. The union says if an agreement is not reached, the next step is a strike vote. More than 1,000 local leaders are in Calgary this week to talk about the future of Alberta's cities, towns, and villages. Alberta Municipalities says councils are being pushed to keep property taxes low while inflation and reduced provincial funding keep adding up. The Save Municipalities millions, they're advocating for the province to start collecting its education tax. They're also discussing recent municipal election challenges because of changes made by the province. Premier Daniel Smith is set to address the group tomorrow. The United Conservative Party has released 35 proposals for its members to debate and vote on at the annual general meeting later this month. Some of the discussions include coal-powered electricity, flags on public property, and making temporary residents pay for health care. They will be voted on by those in attendance. While the UCP isn't bound by the results, members will be watching to see whether Premier Smith and her party follow through. The AGM is happening in Edmonton, November 28th through the 30th. Another reduction of the amount of international students is on the horizon. The federal government is again lowering its cap on students as part of its proposed budget. Quinn Keenan has more.
The federal government had originally allocated over 300,000 international study permits for 2025. That's now planned to be slashed to 155,000 and down to 150,000 from 2026 to 2028. It's a big change for local schools who had come to expect sizable international enrollment.
Pretty consistently, we had about 1,200 international students for the last few years. Now we're down to about 700. So about 40% decline in international students.
The measure is meant to relieve pressure that's been put on housing and public health care. But that loss of students is causing headaches for local post-secondary schools. International undergraduate students can pay up to 5 times the tuition of domestic students. Earlier this year, Lethbridge Polytechnic faced an $8 million shortfall due to the new student caps. But the Polytechnic is adjusting to this new reality.
Domestic student enrollment is our focus. It's always been our focus. International just kind of came. We didn't plan on it happening. It happened. So now we're planning on continuing to develop programs that are attractive to domestic students.
While overall numbers have been cut, new initiatives are making it easier for some applicants to apply. These include faster processing times for doctoral applicants and streamlining work-integrated opportunities. The University of Lethbridge supported those new measures, saying in a statement, collectively, these actions will help ensure that international education continues to play a vital role in supporting Canada's economy and advancing its research capacity. International students in Canada peaked at over 1 million in 2023. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
It's time to check in with Danielle Savoni for our first look at the forecast. And Danielle, nice temperatures today, no wind, and it's November the 12th.
Yeah, we got a nice setup going on here right now, absolutely. So just to check out wind gusts, the gusts max today, we only have a gust in Pincher Creek, max to 56 kilometers per hour. So still breezy at times there, but everywhere else we didn't have any gusts registered today. Winds are calm. Temperatures are still quite warm and well above normal. Normal is around 3-4 degrees in the far south for this time of year. We're sitting at 14 in Lethbridge. We have 10 in Milk River, 11 in Medicine Hat and Pincher Creek, 10 in Brooks. We are looking at temperatures being warm once again for tomorrow. We'll talk more about that coming up. Jackie?
All right. Thank you, Danielle. A 12-year-old boy charged with the attempted murder of his 7-year-old brother in Lethbridge is to remain in custody for at least another 2 weeks. The accused, who cannot be identified under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, has been in custody since his arrest in August. He is also charged with aggravated assault. Police have said their father arrived home to find the young boy seriously injured. They said the older boy told officers an unknown man came into the home and stabbed his brother before running away. The case returns to court in 2 weeks' time. A search and rescue squad on Vancouver Island is going all in on drones. The team is using the technology to make difficult rescues a little easier, particularly at night. CTV's Andy Garland shows us the plans to expand the program that can help save lives.
Careful when I do this, because I remember how much.
A fundraising effort has secured Aerosmith Search and Rescue's most advanced drone yet.
The largest drone we have at the moment. It can fly in basically all weather.
It's equipped with a thermal camera, night vision, 400 times digital zoom, and a spotlight that can be used during nighttime searches.
Turn the spotlight on and light up the scene to have a good visual look at whatever the thermal is giving us.
Aerosmith sees drones as the future of search and rescue.
It's definitely changing the way search and rescue works and the speed at which we can find and locate people and ultimately save lives.
The province allowed SAR teams to start using drones at the start of this year. Since then, Aerosmith has secured 5 of them and has trained 7 members to be pilots.
We jumped in with 2 feet and started building the biggest, most robust drone program we could come up with. And it's proved to be absolutely excellent. And this is actually the drone that we use to locate our missing hiker.
Just a couple weeks ago, this drone was used to find a lost hiker near Cameron Lake and guide them out before nightfall.
The highlights that this showed was that the technology works and that we were able to do this before hypothermia set in and before ground teams could even arrive.
Not even a year into using drones, Aerosmith SAR says it's taking the program to a new level with a dedicated drone response vehicle.
This is what we believe to be the first in the province and quite potentially the first search and rescue drone-specific built vehicle in the country.
Through the 100 Women Who Care charity, the vehicle has been purchased and is already being used to transport drones.
We're working to have as much tech in here as we can. So looking at range, looking at AI color analysis.
The SAR team is now looking at a drone that could carry cargo during missions on and off the island.
We've been all over the island and requested off the island as well for that specific resource. So it's expanding, and I think we're going to see that grow as well.
Andy Garland, CTV News, Qualicum Beach.
The YWCA Lethbridge's annual Stockings of Hope campaign is well underway. This year's campaign includes a winter boot collection drive. During last year's campaign, the YWCA says winter boots were at the top requested item. To meet the growing demand, the team reached up and connected with Cornerstone Funeral Home and its 30-Day of Giving initiative to celebrate their 30th anniversary. And staff from both organizations spent the afternoon collecting and organizing winter boots and other donations to hand out to those in need this winter.
We like to use Christmas as an opportunity to gift all of these participants something new, something luxurious, something that shows them in a physical way that the community and the organization recognizes where they're at and values them as an individual.
It was so important to us to give back in such a meaningful way because we have felt so much love and support and compassion from our community, really. That we just thought that we wanted to reciprocate that. We wanted to lift everybody up that we possibly could in our community, in particular our nonprofits and other organizations.
To support the Stockings of Hope campaign, you can either claim a stocking and shop for the items yourself or select a gift card. More information can be found on the YWCA's website. The Hudson's Bay iconic stripes will soon be back up for sale. Next month, Canadian Tire will launch its first Hudson's Bay stripes collection. Items include the Hudson's Bay blanket, striped holiday ornaments, bedding, and totes. The sale will be part of a limited edition holiday capsule available starting December the 5th. Well, enjoy the warm temperatures Thursday. Danielle says Friday we could see a bit of a drop. Your 5-day forecast coming up after the break. Plus, we talk about new limitations being put on shockwave therapy.
Skycam facing west, we have mostly cloudy skies, and for communities closer to the west in the far south, definitely dealing with more of a Chinook arch. We have that wind out of the west, calmer today, not calm tomorrow in many areas. Temperatures though warm today, warm tomorrow, and then a completely different weather pattern. We've been in this more of a Chinook-like setup all week so far. And yeah, that's about to change. 5 degrees is the high so far in Calgary, 6 in Edmonton, 7 in Regina. Off to the west, they got around 9 degrees in Victoria and Vancouver. And off to the east, still dealing with much cooler temperatures in Ontario and Quebec. But St. John's, Newfoundland, got to 13 degrees today, believe it or not. All right, closer to home, it's 10 right now in Medicine Hat, 12 in Lethbridge, 11 in Pincher Creek. So that's where we have the double digits. It's quite a range in temperature. 4 degrees in Calgary and 5 in Banff. That's a significant difference in such a short spot. And it all depends on the wind today. Where the winds are stronger, it tends to be warmer. And when they're not as strong, we're not getting up there in the numbers. 56 kilometers per hour is the maximum gust in Pincher Creek today. We had no gusts register in all of these communities. It will register tomorrow. We're looking at 60 to 70 kilometer per hour gusts in Lethbridge, at least 40 in Medicine Hat tomorrow, and Pincher Creek looking closer to 60 for tomorrow, maybe even 70. There's that little Chinook setup we got in place, the classic. You can see the really defined edge of that, the Chinook arch that's built in along really QE2, Highway 2, and further to the south. That wind out of the west, while it's not exceptionally strong today, it was enough to produce this and give us these warmer temperatures. Looking at the future cast, there's not a whole lot going on tomorrow other than the wind, so it'll be a windy day tomorrow. Thursday night, though, is when we will start to get a little bit of spillover onto our side of the Rockies. We may even get spillover as far to the east as Lethbridge. Calgary may see a little bit as well, and certainly along Highway 2. And then that shifts off, and we have snowfall in the forecast for most communities in the far south on Friday. This is a look at Friday, 7:30 in the morning, and if I advance this, you can see as we get later into the morning. The snowfall should be mainly in the morning hours, and we're looking at mainly 1 to 3 centimeters for most communities. 2 degrees overnight in the East Kootenay area, showers, and then showers back for tomorrow as well. Gusts out of the southeast up to 40 kilometers per hour, and you're looking at a high of 10 degrees. Crow's Nest Pass 4 overnight, gusting 40 kilometers per hour for the evening, calming down. And while it says night rain 5 millimeters, ignore that. We're not looking at rainfall for tomorrow. We're looking at a mix of sun and cloud and a high of 13 degrees, but it will be gusty, 40, 50, maybe even 60 kilometers per hour. Medicine Hat, 1 overnight, fog patches developing overnight, and that will continue into early tomorrow morning. Gusts up to 60 kilometers per hour tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud and a high of 17 degrees. So those winds out of the southwest, yes, they will be gusty, but that will get Medicine Hat into the high teens for tomorrow. And those mid-teens for Lethbridge, 16 expected, gusts up to 70 kilometers per hour is possible, likely closer to 60. Showers come for Friday, just a high of 5, so a much cooler day, and then back to the double digits for the weekend.
Canada's veterans often need both physical and mental care when they return home. Many suffer from chronic pain and other ailments. A treatment called shockwave therapy has been used by thousands, but as Merrick DeCatch reports, in a few weeks, the treatment will be limited.
And is one side worse than the other?
My right side.
Justin Yasub was in the military for 16 years. He was deployed multiple times, including to Iraq, to fight against ISIS.
I was involved in a big incident there where we lost my friend. I was wounded myself. I got shot in the arm.
6 years of serving with the Canadian Special Operations Regiment took a toll on his body.
I just kind of surrendered to the fact that I'm just going to be in chronic pain for the rest of my life.
Earlier this year, he tried shockwave therapy for the first time.
I've done a lot of different therapies for my back to deal with it and try to live a pain-free life. And nothing really kind of made the change until Shockwave.
Last week, the federal budget was unveiled. Now, only 3 sessions will be covered per lifetime for each veteran experiencing chronic pain.
Because I know I needed multiple sessions to get to where I wanted to, it pretty much just, you might as well say 0. Because the 3 sessions are not going to do the trick.
Echelon Wellness in Castle Downs is Alberta's first healthcare clinic exclusively for military veterans and RCMP.
It is like starting a surgery and not finishing it, so to speak. 3 treatments is definitely not enough. The number of treatments should be left between the healthcare providers and the patients.
Veterans Affairs Canada says it's changing how it funds shockwave therapy because of its mandate to ensure veterans receive safe and evidence-based medical treatments. Yasub has all the evidence he needs.
My back doesn't cramp up, it doesn't spasm, and I'm not in that pain anymore.
He hopes the government reconsiders its decision because of how beneficial the treatment is. Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, a Saskatoon bowler has rolled himself into the record books at just 21 years old. Lethbridge Hurricanes continue a 7-game road trip tonight with the first of 6 straight through the BC division. The Canes will visit the expansion Penticton Vees for the first ever meeting. The Hurricanes enter after suffering a 5-2 loss Saturday against Swift Current. The Vees enter after a 4-2 victory over the Seattle Thunderbirds. This is the first and only meeting of the season between the two teams. Puck drop is set for 7:30. One young bowler from Saskatoon has rolled himself straight into the record books. At just 21, he achieved what many bowlers spend a lifetime chasing. Carla Shinarek has the story of a perfect game achieved on the national stage.
Knocking down all the pins with one throw takes practice and skill. Cooper Bunyak was at a national youth 10-pin championship in May in Quebec, and he did it over and over, strike after strike, until 12 in a row sealed a perfect score of 300.
It's kind of just a surreal experience when you finally do it, especially surrounded by, like I said, the best in their respective divisions in Canada.
This is huge, especially at a national event like that, but bowling at 300 is not an easy feat.
This video taken at that victorious moment, 300 fans gathered around his lane.
It's now or never, right? So then you go up there, and at that point, then you're nervous because you're like, well, I'm going to do it, and I haven't done it. So then, at that point, you just got to be like, well, calm down. When you get that close, everybody stops and watches. There's nobody else bowling in the bowling alley.
Bunyak is a 21-year-old engineering student at the University of Saskatchewan. Despite that workload, he devotes his time to the sport, and he's still eligible as a youth bowler for 1 more year. He was also presented with a prestigious perfect game ring this week.
This is
Thank you.
Quite an achievement for you.
So just how rare is this accomplishment? Well, here at Eastview Bowl, which is considered one of the best in the province, the last adult to get a perfect score was 2 years ago. The last youth was 1994.
That's 30 years in the making right there. So it's not like it happens every day or every week.
Now with a perfect game checked off, the next goal is even bigger. 3 perfect games in a row, something few bowlers do, but few bowlers are throwing like this. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Toronto Blue Jays manager John Schneider is the runner-up for American League Manager of the Year. Schneider finished second behind Stephen Vaught of the Cleveland Guardians in voting by the Baseball Writers Association of America. Vaught picked up 17 of 30 first-place votes and had 113 points overall. Schneider had 10 first-place votes and 91 points. The other finalist was Dan Wilson of the Seattle Mariners. The last time a Blue Jays manager won the award, that was Bobby Cox back in 1985. All right, these brave people have proven it is never too cold to go golfing. Golfers braved temperatures around minus 15 degrees as they took part in the Antarctic Clock Golf Championship. Clock golf has 12 tee positions arranged like the hours on a clock and around a central hole. Typically, it's played on grass. This is a little different. To keep things fair, everyone used the same style of club. Brightly colored balls, well, they were also used. There were golfers from a number of countries around the world, including Canada. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, we show you an Edmonton bakery's massive gingerbread creation when we come back. A bakery in Edmonton is creating a massive gingerbread house, or rather a hotel. The owners typically go all out for the city's All Is Bright Festival, which rings in the winter season. And this year's theme is the Grand Budapest Hotel, famous from the Wes Anderson movie. Naraman Issa reports.
I'd rather put a shim in there, honestly, if that's
Yeah,
possible.
we could do that.
It's all hands on deck as Garner and Kelsey Beggs deck out this gingerbread house.
We are under a real tight deadline here. We have hours left to finish it, so it's going to be a non-stop slog from now until its unveiling.
Every couple of years, Duchess Bake Shop creates an elaborate gingerbread house. This year's theme?
Grand Budapest Hotel. So one of my favorite Wes Anderson films.
This is the hotel in the movie, and this is the Duchess version so far. It's made up of more than 90 kilograms of gingerbread, approximately 30 kilograms of melted sugar, and a whole lot of royal icing.
Hundreds of hours go into the creation of it.
In previous years, Duchess recreated Hogwarts from Harry Potter, the castle from Frozen, and the Milan Cathedral.
It just makes me happy. I don't know. To me, gingerbread is synonymous with the season.
The gingerbread displays come with a charitable connection. Anyone who brings in winter clothing donations like gloves and toques or toiletries will be entered into a draw.
And we draw that winner in the new year, and them and 10 of their friends get a demolition party. So they can bring baseball bats and sledgehammers, crowbars, whatever they want, and they can destroy the Grand Budapest Hotel.
This year's donations are going to iHuman, a nonprofit that helps homeless and marginalized youth.
We see a number of youth every year come in with the really bad frostbite, some of them actually losing their toes and fingers.
The Grand Budapest Gingerbread Hotel will be on display at Duchess for the next few weeks, starting this Saturday. Naronisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Thank you for sharing this time with us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.